Hello, what Nauticus here, also known as Sean. So this is this is a personal video. I look horrible. I'm breaking out. I look like a crackhead, don't I? I swear this is all stress. This is all mental shit. Where have I been? Where haven't I been? I've been on I can't make this funny. Right, this is not gonna be a funny stream. It's gonna just be me talking about my mental health and stuff. So if you can't handle depression talk and S word talk, don't watch this. Alright, so I've been having some issues lately for the past like year or so. My mental health has gotten way worse because my job sucks. And my Hashimoto's, which is my thyroid disease, has gotten to the point where my body has been rejecting my medication. By rejecting, I mean not absorbing it. So my levothyroxine, which for those of you who don't know, levothyroxine is a synthetic hormone. Your thyroid produces a hormone that basically tells your metabolism, it tells your metabolism to start working. It tells every cell in your body when to start eating food, when to stop, and how much to have. It can update this every hour throughout the day. Like if your body needs to ramp up metabolism because it needs more fuel for your cells, it tells it's like, "Oh, I need to change the amount. Okay, we need to eat this much." In 2015, I went to the hospital from work because I couldn't move. I couldn't think and I could barely see anything. The manager there told me I was being lazy and told me, "Oh, just get back to work. I'm already here." I begged for an ambulance. He calls in someone from the pharmacy to check me out, to humor me, right? Because I guess he figured, oh, if they say he's fine, then he'll get back to work and stop being this way. She took my pulse, snapped back at the manager, basically yelled at him to call an ambulance. I was starting to go into a metabolic coma because my thyroid levels went to absolute zero, and they had been that way for a while. So I was hospitalized for 3 days, hooked to IVs while they tried to stabilize me. That was in 2015. And with a degree of atrophy and damage of my thyroid, the Hashimoto's had started over a decade ago. Mostly around when I was 14, probably. Definitely around the time my puberty started. So, during my entire puberty, I had this disease that I didn't even know about, slowly eating away at my thyroid. Something that's very important to have for people going through puberty. I never had that, so God only knows what kind of other shit it caused. Well, also, they said I had type 2 diabetes, but meh. So I was on the medication, the levothyroxine. It took me like, God, it took me like 4 or 5 years just to get used to it. And so when you don't have a metabolism, you don't get any energy, right? You can't move, you can't think, and people underestimate how much energy it takes to think throughout the day. Your body functions. Just your heart beating, just getting up to go to the bathroom takes energy. I didn't have any of that. And so even well medicated, you still have the physical symptoms because you're missing a major organ. It's gone, and your whole body knows it's not there. And one of the good things of having an actual thyroid is the hormone it makes, as I said, can update. It can change its dosage based on your needs and your body's needs for that day. Throughout the day, on the fly. But when your body uses levothyroxine, it's one pill a day. And your body has to make do with that one pill. So if you needed a kick in your metabolism that day, tough luck. And the issue with having your life depend on one pill, which yes, if I don't have my levothyroxine, I will die because my metabolism will start slowing down to zero, and I'll I'll die. Because funny enough, your cells can't work if they don't have food, and they can only get food if their metabolism is kicked in. Because for some reason, your cells in your body are stupid and can't work unless your thyroid tells them to eat. But yeah, I've been on medication since 2015. I still have the I still have the fatigue. I get tired easily. I lose concentration because of the brain fog and stuff. It has gotten better. Okay, it's not as bad as before it was medicated, but it's still shit. And the jobs I've had have all been physical jobs. Like I've been a cart pusher since 2014, whether at Publix or at Walmart, because I can't hold any higher job. I can't have a full time work because I can't work that many hours. I get bad. So constantly having managers tell me I'm not good enough to be a cart pusher. I'm not good enough to be a bagger. I'm too slow. Like, yeah, I know I'm too slow. My body doesn't fucking work right. I am disabled. I'm not on disability, but I'm disabled. Because like it doesn't work. It doesn't work like it used to. And I know it sounds a lot like ADHD, which I was diagnosed with that when I was younger. I kind of need to have it clarified what by a professional whether I actually do have that or not. At this point, it has been suggested to me when I would go in for a crisis center, talk to the therapist there. But definitely, yes, I am definitely autistic. That is 100% fucking fact. No one can deny that. And if you try to deny that I'm autistic, you're an idiot because it's obvious. Okay. Like, I even have kind of the autistic voice, as they say. I mean, have you seen my videos? But yeah, I do have PTSD, C PTSD from like my childhood, the getting hit, the bullying. I got kidnapped before. I don't think anything happened aside from me taking a bath in the guy's house and playing with myself under his sheets. Well, I did have crack at that time, but I didn't know it was crack. He just had a white rock in a clear tube, lit the other end, and told me to breathe in. And I was 12. Not going to go further into that. I've had multiple cats die horribly. I've had my mom die. I've been homeless for a while. I've been yelled and screamed at by people just because I, sh- I show a bit of autism. My stepmother, for one, and my dad just abandoned us. Told my mom he doesn't love her. I was I was 16, and he bought a woman from the Philippines. Yeah, so I have that fucker's genetics, and yeah, my growing up, my dad did not like seeing anything related to autism. It was either, oh, we just can't take him anywhere. Oh, I don't want to go anywhere with him. And if I acted up in the house, I would get the belt to my ass or wherever he could hit me. And do you know what acting up was as an autistic kid? Being autistic, being too loud, stuff like that. But anyway, so yeah, I have reason. There's reasons I have PTSD, but I don't know. This year's just been fucked up. It's been a really bad year. The past 2 years have been bad. I like two in 2021. I had to quit one of my jobs because they cut my hours down so badly. And then I was a stalker for a while, and management complained because I wasn't fast enough. So they cut my hours. I went from 32 hours to 24 hours. And then they told me if you become the cart pusher for our store, you'll get near 30 hours because we don't have a cart pusher here. Oh, isn't that wonderful, Sean? I didn't want to because I didn't want to be in sunlight anymore. A side effect from levothyroxine is you burn easily. Also, you start losing hair. So I took the job to be the cart pusher, and I kept having 24 hours for a couple of weeks. And I was the only cart pusher in the entire store. No one came in at all. Management complained that I wasn't fast enough for it. It wasn't even large. It was just a grocery store, not a super center. We didn't sell anything except food. We had at most 300 carts. I counted, and it wasn't good enough. I didn't get enough carts in my 5 hours they would schedule me, and so they cut my hours again. My hours went down to 14 hours a week, and they still complained. They complained that you didn't even get any carts, blah blah blah. And I checked, and guess what? I wasn't even scheduled to work that day. So my supervisor, the lady who was like, "Oh, I understand disabilities. I used to be a nurse who had to deal with autistic patients." Oh, you had to deal with them, huh? Deal, not help. Interesting choice of words. So she had been telling management that I just can't handle it on days I didn't even work. So my hours got cut to 8 hours a week. Luckily, I still had money from my stocks I sold from my old store. But at this time, there was shit happening at home. I had two horrible housemates in the house. I don't want to go into them. Funny how I keep having housemate issues, huh? Well, it's because I keep having to rent rooms that I find on Craigslist. You don't rent rooms out on Craigslist unless you're desperate or something's wrong with your house or wrong with you. But that landlord, he was into some shady shit. He wouldn't kick people out. He would just tell them to move and make the place unlivable. There was a fucking toilet in the living room because our toilet was broken, and the landlord was like, "All right, fix it. Here you go. Here's toilet I found." He didn't buy anything. He found it out on the side of the road and just brought it home. Then one of the housemates was stealing my stuff. He actually stole my metformin. He stole several pills of metformin. I know because I count them because I had to fucking take them. That's my medication for my diabetes. You can't get high off it. So what the fuck's he doing? He stole food from me. He stole other shit. I called him once in my room and he was like, "Oh what? My stomach hurts. I want, I thought maybe like Tylenol. Like, get the fuck out of my room. I don't care if you're looking for Tylenol." So it started an argument when he started chewing me out over the curtain in the kitchen. He got up in my face. I got scared. I called the police. My landlord found out, chewed me out for calling the police. He didn't want police at the house. Oh, he can't handle this. Oh, I need to find a new place to live. And then he starts talking about, oh, I can kick all of you retards out and rent this whole place for $7,000 a month and never have to deal with you retards ever again. And I asked for eviction papers. Oh, I have papers. I have them by the dozens. But just because your landlord tells you to leave doesn't mean you're being evicted. I don't have to show you papers. So I panicked. I was trying to find a new place to live. And the other housemate was my landlord's buddy. So they made it unbearable to live there. They made it hell for me. And I was having mental breakdowns all the time. I was having hallucinations. I was disassociating really badly because of the stress. The stress of the home life, the stress of trying to live off 8 hours a week when I had medications I had to buy, and struggling to find a new home. I still had some money left in my savings, but it was going fast. And then the breaking point, I tried to explain to my supervisor why my performance had dropped, and she told me, and I quote, "In my opinion, Sean, you use your disabilities as a crutch because you are a cis white," and she cut herself off. And then she showed me her pictures of her son, her dead son, hooked up in a hospital bed, telling me this is what real disabilities look like. My son died from them. He was born with them. So I lost all hope in anyone, everyone. I had a friend at the time who was, you know, moral support, but they couldn't really do anything much because they were far away. And somehow I found a place. I found another store to transfer to again. Because I don't know, every year or so I lose my home. Something always happens. I get kicked out. But I found this place that I have now. It's been going decent. It takes me 30 minutes to ride my bike to work, so I'm already exhausted by the time I get there. And again, I'm still a cart pusher, and managers are complaining that I'm not fast enough. And there's like 3 times as many carts as my old store. It's twice the size of the parking lot. And there's 2 parking lots, one below, one upstairs. Like, when I came to this store, I told them about my disabilities. I told them I'm not as smart as everyone else. I'm not as fast as everyone else. I can't just force myself to do more than my body is physically capable of doing because I don't have. I'm always running at max metabolism. It's always at the. But anyway, so it was going fine. It was stable. I could deal with it. I was at bare minimum, right? And then there was an incident in August, and all hell just kind of broke loose for me now. What happened in August was okay. So I can't really show a lot of it, but basically, there was a. Oh, actually, no. You can see it. There was a. There was. Oh my God, was it? There was a police incident. Yeah, I realized I just doxed my workplace, but fuck it. Yeah. So the incident was I just clocked out of work and I went right outside the front door of the Walmart. You know, the sliding doors, right? You know, you have the door and then you have the lobby and then you have the actual doors that go into the store, right? Good. A man jumped me from behind. He tried to steal my bike and he punched me in the face. I actually still kind of have the mark in the corner of my there, like right there, and still hurts pushing this part that thing on my nose, that cartilage, and I yelled and screamed for help. It went on for I don't know how long it went on for, and he gave up and just walked off. He didn't run. The man did not run. He walked. So I yelled back at him, calling him a fucker, that I work here, we have cameras. Then he runs. And I had to walk back inside and talk to the guy at the door. I told him to get security. A man attacked me. And from his point of view where he was standing, you could see where I got attacked. No one did anything to help me. I had to go back inside after being fucking punched in the face and get security myself. And do you know what security did? Well, okay, they called the cops and they told me to wait for the cops in the lobby. You know, alone, right where, right near where I got attacked. I'm autistic. I have PTSD. I was crying. I was slurring my speech. I was trying to disassociate. I was forgetting where I was. I couldn't stay in the lobby. So I had to ask them, like, please, I need to go somewhere safe. I'm going to have an episode. Nothing. And then I told them, what if customers see me having an episode? Oh, then they decided, okay, you can come into the security office, Sean. You'll be safe in there. Oh, but leave your bike out in the lobby. The doorman will watch it for you. I'm having an episode. I'm crying. I'm hyperventilating because some fucker attacked me and tried to steal my bike, and they wanted me to be separated from my bike. So I went to the office. I had an episode. I was crying all stuff. Like 20 minutes later, the police finally showed up and they gave me an ice pack. Security didn't give me an ice pack. A manager didn't give me an ice pack. They could have gone and just gotten a bag of frozen peas and marked it as in-store use. But no, they didn't. So gave my report, all this stuff, and then security's like, "Well, the police are already gone. You can't stay here all day. You need to go home." So they sent me home. No one offered to drive me home. No one at Walmart fucking cared. And then the following weeks were shit. I called out for a few days because I didn't want to go back there. So I lost money from that. Then a manager had me fill out an incident report, and they didn't like what I said about how no one helped me. They didn't like that. So they changed stuff in my report. They changed the wordings to proofread, right? And then the store manager told me, after I was asking if there was any kind of thing that could help out with like calling out because I wanted, like, I was scared of being there. He tells me it's an unfortunate event. It was an unfortunate event, but moving forward, Sean, you should be more aware of your surroundings. Yeah, so that didn't help. And then they told me about some thing that Walmart has called associates in critical need. That, oh, if you've missed work because of an emergency event, they can help you. Guess what is not counted as a qualifying event to apply for it? Robbery or assault. Walmart doesn't give a fuck about anyone. So all this, all that time I had to take off came out of my money. I had to go back because I wanted to be able to pay rent, and I'm still scared. This happened in August 6th, right? I'm still, and I've seen him in the store recently. Like a couple of weeks ago, he was in the store waiting to go in the bathroom when I came out. And when I was in the office, and the security guy was talking to the police, they said that guy was in the store that same day, not even 30 minutes before he attacked me trying to shoplift. And they kicked him out. And then he tried to get back in the store, and they're like, we know your face. So he hid by the store in the bushes. It's not like, oh, oh, what if it was me? Oh no, I wasn't in uniform. It could have been anyone. Like, they didn't call the fucking police on him. He tried to come in after being kicked out. They called the police on that. They didn't. Like, what if he hit a child? Huh? What if a child was coming out with like a DS or a Switch? What if he punched a kid and ran off with a Switch? Would Walmart have been any different? Probably, because it was a child. If it was an elderly person, that they could have died. They could have had serious injuries. The child could have died. But no, because I was an associate, I wasn't following policy of when we get robbed. Just let them have whatever they want. So I got in trouble for it. I got blamed for being robbed and being punched in the face. So that was shit. And then there was a shooting at the store. I'm trying not to say what store, but it was on the news. So that doesn't make me feel safe. So I've been trying to deal with that. I'm trying to deal with my mental shit breaking apart. My mind's been going. My medication is working, which it's my TSH levels, which is your thyroid hormone levels. They're concentrated, meaning my intestine is not absorbing the medication anymore. I gotta figure out what that's doing, but that's making me slower at work because I can't do much at work anymore because I'm exhausted all the time. And it's not sleepy. I physically can't fucking move anymore. It's like having a big workout and you're not used to it, so you're wrecked for the next day. But it happens every day, all day. Then there was an incident the other week at work. We all got in trouble. We all got chewed out. I asked about my accommodations. Turns out my old store never worked with my accommodations, so they never put them on file. They never did a job adjustment. So my old store completely ignored my disabilities because they weren't on file. So I confided in the manager about the stuff that's been going on, the mental stuff, my medication, my concerns, and they didn't give a shit. They said, well, you can't expect us to accommodate everyone. We can't just say, oh, I accommodate you for this. Oh, I accommodate you for that. She said that to me. I know I shouldn't be surprised considering the store manager told me to just pay attention more after I got fucking punched. So I had a breakdown. I had a breakdown. I cried. I talked about how I didn't want to die, that my medications aren't working, that I'm afraid I'm dying. I don't want this. I hate this. And then I clocked out. I went to the bathroom, had another episode, calmed down, did my groceries, went home, and in 2 hours after I clocked out, police came to my door. Turns out my manager called the police and told them I was suicidal. If I was, I wouldn't be taking my medications. If I was, I would have done something about it. I expressed to my manager I am scared of dying. I feel like I'm dying because my medication's not working. My mind is a wreck after the guy attacked me. And she thinks that's suicidal. So the police put me in handcuffs, loaded me into the car, dropped me off at a health place, institute that does mental health crisis centers and stuff. So I was there for like an hour, waiting for intake and all that stuff. And then the person comes up to me and says they're shipping me off to a hospital because that place doesn't take my insurance. And I was a Baker Act. Florida has a law where basically you can get dropped off at a mental institute for 3 days if they think you're suicidal or homicidal. Disclaimer, I am neither of those. My mind is just fucked up. I have no intentions of hurting anyone or myself. I have no pain tolerance. Right? I panic, I cry, my throat closes up, I cough, I barf. I go on rambles. I disassociate, but I never hurt myself. I never hurt anyone. Cause like, man, I've been through hell. Like I know the stuff that I've been through. I know those people who've had it worse. Okay, but I don't want people going through any of this. Right? Losing people hurts. Okay, I lost someone that I loved. Okay, because their mental illness one, and they were my soulmate. I fully believe, and I was. We had very intense emotions for each other, but we never identified as a couple. The connections and emotions were there. She confided in me that she wanted to be my girlfriend. She wanted to be my partner. She wanted to love me more than her mind was letting her. She told me that she heard voices saying that she didn't deserve any of it. That she told me that her past relationships have always ended badly because her mental illness won't let her love people like that. So she always has to keep at a distance. So to hear her say that she loved me, but that she wanted to be in love with me, she wanted me, but her mind that she would have hurt me if she did. And then she kills herself. And that was only like, God, that wasn't even 2 years ago. But so so yeah, suicide is not. It always hurts someone. Okay, that's why my Twitch channel has hotline numbers. I advocate for this. I advocate for prevention because I've been there. Right, I've like you think like like someone gets hurt, even if you think no one is gonna care, someone will. Okay, and it may even just be a complete stranger who hears about your death in passing. You don't know. They might cry for you. They might say a prayer. You have no idea how connected everything is at some level, and it sucks. Okay, it sucks and it hurts. And I'm not saying, oh, don't do anything because you might make someone sad. I mean, if you're having those thoughts, you're at your wits' end. Like you're in pain, and people need. You deserve to be seen. You deserve for people to recognize how much it hurts. That if you are feeling this way, I'm not gonna say it gets better, but it can't get any better if you give up. And it might not be in a year. It might not even be in 5 years. But even the tiniest bit of it helps. So now someone has said that hope isn't an idea. Having hope is a promise. It's a promise that I don't know what I'm saying. Just yeah, if your friends may call people, there is help out there. There's people who care, even if you don't know them. But yeah, so oh god, I got sidetracked. Yeah, so the police came, took me away. I was in the hospital for a while. They took blood work. They got scared of my blood disorder again. And the mental institute I was in was horrible. The staff ignored all the patients. There were several people screaming. There was one guy who would run up and down the halls crying and yelling that they were going to kill him. There was people needing genuine help and they were being ignored. And I was only there for 2 days. I got released. I got diagnosed with unipolar depression. So at least I know what's wrong with my brain. And the worst part about that is, guess what? It can also cause physical symptoms of fatigue and loss of concentration. I have two things that sap my strength all day, every day. And I'm trying to work through this shit. And like this whole week, this whole month, I've been calling out so much because I don't want to fucking go there anymore. I'm trying to apply for other places, but there's not much work I'm able to do. Like if I'm not even good enough to be a bagger at Publix, and I'm not good enough to be a cart pusher at a Walmart, there's not much I'm able to do. So I have applied for disability. I'm waiting for the response. I'm trying to get in touch with a lawyer for that, and I just want to get better. I used to be happy. I used to actually be able to do things. I mean, I can't even get myself to record videos anymore. And I used to record a lot. I can't. I don't even enjoy playing World of Warcraft. And that's that's not good. And lo and behold, I called out again today. I've I've missed 5 days of work now because I just no one gives a shit there. Because for some reason, being attacked is my fault. Not being able to keep up, my fault. Making a manager feel uncomfortable to where she calls the police on me for crying and asking about my accommodations, my fault. And Walmart doesn't fucking help. Because none of this stuff counts as critical need. And here I am making a video talking about all my stuff. And the original intent of this video, it wasn't supposed to be this. It's almost an hour long. The thing I made for this video was just going to say, hey, shit's been going bad for me. Here's a link to my Patreon. If you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. I was going to ask for money. I'm still gonna put my Patreon, but I don't like this shit. I don't even know if I'm gonna post. I am gonna post this because I don't know. It's, I don't want. I don't want to do anything. Everything I do just fucks up. But I've worked. I look horrible. No, there's the thumbnail. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this has gone on long enough. I guess if any part of my story resonated with you, or anything, or even if you just want to say hi, or I mean, you can okay, you can just comment below. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go cry now. I am, I am not doing so well.